Hello, this is the streaming service with me, Justin Hill, with another episode of the handiest TV guide on the internet. I'll give you the rundown on everything worth watching that has landed on streaming services recently, plus catch you up on all the behind-the-scenes news you may have missed. This week, the hidden Easter eggs in the new Wednesday series, plus a new show all about a princess fairy tale. But first, speaking of fairy tales, is the new Meghan and Harry Netflix series more like a horror movie? $140 million, 140. That's how much Meghan and Harry apparently got paid to tell their deepest, darkest, royalist secrets in the new Netflix Docu series. And like some bad ex-boyfriends, many people have come out of the woodworks to point out that some of those secrets might not be totally true. In part 1, Harry and Meghan revealed to us some footage of them being hounded by the paps, but that footage actually turned out to be from the time Katie Price went to court and actually not Meg's and Has. And another shot was from a Harry Potter premiere that they didn't go to. But they did also say that stories were planted about them from the royal family, but apparently that's not true. Rumour is they were actually doing double time to stop stories leaking about them. Oh, but what about how Meghan said she wasn't even given any etiquette lessons and had to Google the British national anthem? Well, according to sources, she was offered multiple meetings with royal officials, but she turned them down. Okay. What about their beautiful LA mansion that they filmed this documentary from? Oh, that wasn't actually theirs, and it's actually a mansion they borrowed for filming down the road from where they actually live. Part 2 gave us never-before-seen moments from their wedding day, Meghan dancing with Elton John, and even a little rendition of their first dance song. You gotta watch this.
You got to know how to mumble mashed potato.
There you go.
Do the alligator. That was our first dance.
Now, whether you love them or hate them, you got to give this series a watch. Check out parts 1 and 2 of Meghan and Harry on Netflix now. This one gets 6 princess crowns out of 10. Speaking of princes and princesses, castles, queens, etc., you might remember the movie Willow from 1988. It was the story of a baby who was rescued by an elf called Willow, who was also tasked to deliver her to humans to keep her safe. Naturally, she was the key to defeating the evil Queen Bavmorda. You know the story. It starred Warwick Davis, who went on to star in films like Star Wars, Harry Potter, Maleficent, and it also had Val Kilmer in it as well. It was peak 80s special effects, right up there with The Labyrinth, The Never-Ending Story. All of those classics and some of my favourites. Well, fast forward to 2022 and Warwick is back as Willow in a new Disney Plus series, and let me tell you, the special effects have definitely had a serious upgrade. The series picks up years after the end of the film as Willow deals with another baddie that is, shock horror, threatening to destroy the world.
You think you know what is real and what isn't. What is light? What is dark? Now, forget all you know. Come with me. Willow.
Our true enemy is still out there, rallying the forces of evil. And the only thing standing in its path is us.
I'm going to enjoy this.
If you're thinking what I'm thinking, so am I.
I doubt that very much. Take him to my tent and make sure he's tied up.
I don't know. See, that kind of sounds like we're on the same page.
Oh, it brings back so many memories. There was actually a scene in the movie where a crow transformed and it sort of turned like inside out. That one stuck with me for many years as a small child. Also, if you think to yourself, do I need to watch the movie again to get into this series? You don't, because the first episode has a nice recap using some of the film footage for you. So there you go. You can check out the first episodes of Willow on Disney Plus now. This one gets 8 magic wands out of 10. Okay, so 2 things. If you haven't watched the new Addams Family spin-off Wednesday yet, please do. It's such a brilliant series. It's directed by Tim Burton and it's now the 3rd most watched English series on Netflix ever. Someone asked me if it was for kids the other day, and I'm going to say older kids can watch it, but I think it's mostly made for grown-ups who maybe saw the Addams Family growing up and who love Tim Burton movies. The series is based on Wednesday's adventures at her new boarding school with monsters, murder, and yes, Thing is back and he's an absolute star. But the second thing is, if you're like me and you've been through the whole series and you need some more Tim Burton movies to rewatch, well, here are some of my all-time favourites. Beetlejuice. Not only are there rumours of a sequel to this in the works, but there's an Easter egg to the movie in Wednesday. Have a look at what's on the principal's desk if you want to know what it is. You can check out this 1988 classic on Apple TV now. Or what about The Corpse Bride? And yep, you guessed it, another Easter egg in Wednesday for this one. Check out what those creepy taxidermy ferrets are dressed as for a little nod to this movie. And you can watch this one for free on SBS On Demand or on Apple TV now. Now, my last movie is more of a hidden gem. It's called Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. It's actually a book series turned into a film, and it's based on the story of a home for children with special abilities, and it lives in between time on the same day that resets every day. Now, it all goes pear-shaped when a stranger makes his way into the home and has to save the children from the evil lurking in the shadow.
There's a place I go when I want to be alone.
There's a new world coming. There's a new world coming. This one's coming to an end.
How did you?
Air. It's my peculiarity. If I show you the rest, you have to promise not to run away.
He's invisible.
Of course. We're what's known in common parlance as peculiar.
Claire, why aren't you eating? She's embarrassed in front of Jake.
Don't be.
There's a new world coming.
Because our abilities don't fit in the outside world, we live in places like this,
There's a new world coming.
where no one can find us.
Jake, come and play.
I knew you were one of us when you were born. It's time for you to learn what you can do.
But I'm just ordinary.
No, you're not. You were born to protect us.
Promise me one thing. Look after them, Jake.
I promise.
You can check out Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children on Disney Plus and Apple TV now. And don't forget to catch the full season of Wednesday on Netflix. Da-na-na-na. Now. So this week, the OG Avatar movie is celebrating its 13th birthday right as the sequel drops in cinemas. Now, if you haven't seen it, now is the perfect time to. It's a movie set on the fictional world of Pandora that's inhabited by these huge blue creatures that humans have found a way to clone and transfer their consciousness into so they can communicate with them. But some of the soldiers on the planet have other ideas about how they can basically do what we've done to our planet and figure out how quickly they can strip it of all of its resources and set up a coffee shop down the road. I was lucky enough to catch up with the star of the movie, Sam Worthington, and his co-star Cliff Curtis to chat about the sequel, Avatar: The Way of Water, and what we can expect. Am I right in saying it's the theme about this movie, the set, the cast, the crew is about family or is about whānau? Like that's basically what we're going to see in this film, right?
Yeah, and the heart of it is you're following the journeys of the Sully family, and it's the natural extension of this love story between Jake Sully and Natiri. They've obviously went off and had kids, and it's about the family that you have and the family that you choose and protecting that.
I think people are going to be surprised to know that this is something you've been working on for years and years and years.
Yeah, Jim told me today that someone working on it since 2013 in some kind of form, be it increasing technology or how far can we push the volume, And then once the story came into play in about 2015, something was working on it. And in 2017, we started getting involved. So it wasn't like they just took 10 years off and then decided to quickly make it.
No.
It's been a labour of love.
You can check out Avatar on Disney Plus now, and do yourself a favour and check out my mate Sam in the sequel Avatar: The Way of Water. You've got to see it in 3D. It's in cinemas now. This one gets 9 jellyfish out of 10. So, there have been a stack of announcements this week for many of our favourite shows and when they're set to return to our living rooms. First up is Yellow Jackets, one of my favourite series of the last 12 months. Now, this show is based on the true story of a sporting team that crash land their plane in the middle of nowhere and have to survive until help comes months and months later with nothing to eat and the dead and dying around them. The show goes back and forth between current day with the survivors and flashbacks to the 90s when they were trying to survive. Throw in a sick 90s soundtrack and a little little bit of cannibalism, and it's a recipe for my kind of show. Sounds a bit weird. Paramount Plus have announced that Season 2 is set to drop on March 24 in 2023. Now, you heard me bang on about Wednesday earlier. Well, some unconfirmed rumours have started circulating about Season 2 of the show, namely that it will drop in 2024. And wait for it, Addams Family icon Angelica Houston is rumoured to be joining the cast in a role that's apparently supposed to be the new principal of the school. I mean, she did play Morticia Addams in the movie, so it's kind of a given that she should be involved, right? Given that this show is set to take over Stranger Things records for the most watched series, it's definitely going to be worth the wait. Also, if you want a very quick rundown on everything that's worth watching in the month of December on each platform, follow me on TikTok at @just_Hill now. That's all for this week from me. I will, of course, be back next week with all the latest news on the biggest TV shows and movies to hit your favourite streaming platforms. Don't forget to download the LiSTNR app to be the first to hear it, and I will see you next time.
LiSTNR.